Welcome to the Car Guys, and this week a realisation that I may never buy a new car again. Let that sink in for a minute. A car channel known for enjoying classic cars but also the latest shiny fast things is quitting new cars for good. In fact, this shiny red thing right here might just be the last new car to ever come to the Car Guys garage. And that really is a sad thing. Just like you, I enjoy the frisson of excitement that comes with new car day. I love putting on the very first miles, the smell of a virgin interior. Heck, even the dealer collection experience can sometimes be pleasurable. But I'm afraid it's over. Adios, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, hasta la vista, ta-ta you. So if that sounds like your special kind of automotive epiphany vodka, let's get on with it. Now, I've been meaning to make this episode for some time because over the past few years it's become increasingly apparent to me that all my love for cars lies in the past. That sumptuous sweet spot of 80s, 90s and 2000s exotica that blends distinctive, pleasing exterior design with simple mechanics, quirky features and soul. Yes, that's it, automotive soul, that almost indefinable quality that makes cars from this era in particular wonderful. And all modern cars, not so much.
They would go crazy.
Oh my.
For these two, not so much.
Remember, I'm from the Gen X generation, not a boomer, so 60s and 70s cars, whilst fantastic, don't quite have the same resonance. I appreciate their beauty whilst never seriously expecting to own any of them. New cars though, well, they just don't do anything for me anymore. And I suspect you might feel the same way. And not just normal new cars, but all of them. Supercars, hypercars, station wagons, hot hatches, luxury saloons, the whole caboodle. I could have made countless videos of new car launches, giving you my 2 penneth on all of them. And I could have gone to town, really ripping them to shreds, because you know I love to do that. But you know what? I just couldn't summon up the energy. I felt complete apathy towards them. And more than that, I really resented them for all the reasons that I'm about to reveal. I can't think of a single new Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, Mercedes or BMW that I would even look twice at. Japanese cars, once the vanguard of car cool, now seem homogenized and, well, a bit bland. And even though I'd not kick a Porsche ST or GT3 RS out of bed, there's little chance of me getting one of those legitimately, so they are out, just on general principle. And obviously anything electrically powered bores me to tears and elicits feelings of pity, not anger, towards their owners. EVs, in my opinion, are the world's greatest automotive confidence trick for the galactically naive. Older cars though, well, you can just go out and buy one from an auction house or a dealer. There's no privileged lists, no backhanders, no false Cheshire Cat smiles at car launches, and you don't have to deal with the disappointment of not getting an allocation whilst watching car flippers get them all. Buying an older car is an honest, no strings attached transaction and is driven by pure focused passion. For car guys like me, and I suspect you as well, buying an older car is also more pleasurable. I guess before I get into the meat of why I'll probably never buy a new car again, in the interests of fairness and balance, I should acknowledge that there are still reasons why many of you might still want to keep buying them. And those reasons undoubtedly are: number 1, they're more fuel efficient and reliable. Number 2, they've got loads of cool, useful technology. And number 3, they are much safer. And that's it. So now that's out of the way, let's get on to the slagging. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here are the main reasons why I believe I will never buy a new car again. Number 1, they are expensive. Number 2, they make you a slave to dealers. Number 3, they are boring. Number 4, they spy on you. Number 5, they mollycoddle you. Number 6, they lose loads of money. And number 7, they simply have no soul. Number 1, they're expensive. Earlier this year, respected motoring journalist Mike Rutherford commented that an average new car price of £40,000 is simply too high. And in his article, he cited the Auto Trader data, which showed that the median new car retail price for May 2024 was £42,340. Think about that for a minute. 42 grand! That's an enormous amount of money, and it's being driven by expensive hybrid variants and EVs, and of course, motor manufacturers all hiking up all prices to help pay for the development of those BEVs, FEVs, and HEVs. No wonder leasing is becoming so popular. The humble Ford Fiesta, almost my first car, has seen its price double in the last 10 years from $9,995 to $19,350, as you can see here. And what about that sales stalwart, the Ford Focus? For years, Britain's best-selling car. Well, that price has almost doubled too, from $16,495 in 2013 to now nearly £30,000. 30 grand for a Ford Focus. The world has gone mad. Also, didn't the Dacia Sandero, once the UK's cheapest car, used to be 5k? Well, now it's £14,000. Now, I freely admit that the price of a Ford Fiesta holds little or no relevance to me because, well, I've never really wanted one, and the sort of cars that I like tend to have horses or bulls on the badge. But just as the bottom end of the market has been rising inexorably, so too have the supercars and hypercars. A new Ferrari? Well, you're going to need over £300,000 and in many cases over $500,000 to get one of those. The V12 Lamborghini Revuelto is £450,000 before options. A base-level Porsche 911 now costs over £100,000. A 911 Turbo 50R is £200,000. And the special limited edition 911 ST is £231,000 before options. And when it comes to the special metal, the rarer, almost mythical unicorns known as hypercars, it gets even more extreme. Take a look at this. It's the new prices of the previous generation of chosen ones from Ferrari, McLaren and Porsche. In 2016, as you can see, the LaFerrari was £1.15 million, the McLaren P1 $866,000 and the Porsche 918 Spider $712,000. Their 2025 replacements are, and expected to be, much higher. Given that the Daytona SP3 was $1.7 million 2 years ago, is it any wonder that the Ferrari F80 seen here is £3 million? And if even I am complaining about the cost of cars, something must be seriously wrong. Number 2, they make you a slave. Remember in the not-so-distant past, if something went wrong with your car, you could simply take it to a friendly, local garage and get it fixed. Or even more incredibly, you could just buy a Haynes manual and fix it yourself at your house. Well, those days are gone, my friend, and you can't have failed to notice that new cars are now packaged and sealed so comprehensively that no one, except the main dealer, can maintain, fix, or upgrade them. You need a laptop with just the right official version of the software to tell you why all the warning lights are on, and only just the right specific shaped tool is required to access panels that would have been locked in the past with a humble Phillips screwdriver. And how about those service at your dealer now displays that appear every time you turn on the car? Ferrari puts a green spanner on the dashboard, Porsche just orders you to the service centre. I'm told that independent garages are no longer even to reset those warning messages, but let me know in the comments if that's true. And don't even get me started on these software updates, which seem to crop up every year on my GR Yaris, for example. Everything is now designed to make you a slave to the main dealer, and that means dealer prices, dealer levels of service, and of course, dealer waiting times. And the big problem with that is that main dealer service teams can often be ruled by the need to cut costs, corners and time.
Not a great plan.
And it's not uncommon to have a team of service centre fluffers whose job it is to field customer phone calls, act as a linebacker for the engineers, and generally create an environment of fog, lies and frustration. I've experienced all these things with Mercedes main dealers and my Maybach S600, but thank God I've now found Project AMG, a trusted independent AMG and Mercedes service centre who are, and I'm not exaggerating here, about 1 billion times better.
I've told you 1,000,000 times, do not exaggerate!
Number 3, They are boring. New cars are bland, derivative, and downright boring. They all look like bulbous, committee-designed, politically correct Euroboxes designed to move sedentary, distracted, perpetually offended zombies at government-regulated speeds.
I'm getting the word nonce.
They are created seemingly solely to prevent or mitigate automotive interactions with, for example, moronic e-scooter riders and hoodied-up, headphone-wearing, jaywalking idiots, who, thanks to the new government highway code rules, are now never to blame. Bonnets or hoods are higher, rooflines are raised, body widths increased, and they are, of course, much, much heavier. I wonder why. And in this pursuit of removing all individuality, sexiness and design flair, our cars have become adult baby carriages, prams for the pampered. I mean, just look at them. Can you tell which companies made these cars? Can you see anything that remotely looks good about their design? When I was first driving in the 90s, I could name every single car on the road. Manufacturers took pride in their design heritage and national identity. Japanese cars could not be mistaken from those made in Europe or America, and this resulted in radically different shapes, designs, solutions, and technology. And in case you've forgotten, here's what cars used to look like. I will of course recognise that there are occasionally exceptions to the rule, and a special shout out to the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which when it first appeared looked like something right out of RoboCop, and I'm here for that. But on the whole, new cars are, well, they're just horrendous looking. Number 4, they spy on you. What's the greatest gift that cars have given us? Speed? Thrills? Luggage moving? Dogging? Nope, you're all wrong. It's independence. Not to put too fine a point on it, cars take us places. Places we want to go when we want to, and until recently, without anyone spying on you. Imagine a time when you could drive anywhere, at any speed and with anyone. The government or big corporations couldn't track you, the police wouldn't be waiting, and insurance companies, well, they wouldn't have a clue. But that's all changed, and modern cars are nothing more than four-wheeled peeping toms. If it's not a black box recording and reporting your driving style, it's GPS-linked trackers, dash cameras, and over-the-air surveillance software. Modern vehicles collect, store, use, and share your data. An investigation by Mozilla's Privacy Not Included website found that for the 25 car brands surveyed, 84% shared or sold the driving data. And I'm not just talking about your driving habits, but also your medical information, genetic information, your sex life, how fast you drive, where you drive, and even what songs you play while you're driving. Modern cars are informants, snitches, grasses, canaries, stoolies, rats. They are not your friend, and they absolutely cannot be trusted. Number 5, they mollycoddle you. I've been driving for 35 years. I enjoy it. I'm good at it. I teach myself new things, and I take pride in doing it as well as I can. Perhaps more importantly, I like to operate my cars manually without any intervention or aids. But modern cars like to dick around with you. They think they know better. They are smug, and I hate that. I can almost tolerate auto-dipping headlights, but I still spend the whole journey tense, wondering if they'll go to full beam in time or dip without dazzling oncoming traffic. But lane departure assistance, stop-start, auto-braking, over-eager parking assist, adapted power steering, curb proximity beepers, tyre pressure sensors, would you like me to find a petrol station near you messages, they can all f*** off. And don't even get me started on the loss of physical buttons. Who thought fingering through tiny menus in a bouncing car with sausage fingers instead of watching the road ahead was a good idea? Want to adjust the wing mirrors? Sure, that's section 4, subsection 2 of the visibility menu. Feeling a little chilly? Hey, why do something as simple as twist a heating knob that's conveniently located within easy reach? No, you want to use a voice command 8 times. And when did assist mean almost cause an accident? You'd think that auto-braking is an invaluable modern tool that could save lives and improve reaction time, but it actually just jams its brakes on whenever there's a parked car nearby. Of course, not all driving aids are evil, but some of them are. Number 6, they lose loads of money. Harry Metcalf did a great video recently talking about how modern cars depreciate far more than they ever have done. And of course, he's right. New cars cost more than ever before, they are made with more obsolete tech, they cost more to repair, and no one can decide what the future of motoring is going to be, which stifles sales and breeds uncertainty. That uncertainty hemorrhages value and contributes to a depreciation cyclone, the like of which we've never seen before. Losing £100,000 on a car, and not even a special one, is now more common than you think. And I'm sorry, but that's just not sustainable. No one likes to be made a fool of, even if you have more money than Croesus. And in the case of electric cars, you not only have buyer uncertainty and lack of sales for all the reasons outlined in my big EV lie episode, you also have an enormous oversupply problem. Not only the vast number of unwanted cars delivered to dealerships that come with an extraordinary high initial cost, but also an important factor not taken into account by many. And that is the end of all those 3-year lease agreements, government company subsidies, and early adopting electric fleets, dumping thousands, tens of thousands of older EVs onto the used market when no one wants them. The perfect storm. Number 7, they have no soul. Modern cars have taken refinement and ease of use way too far, in my opinion, and whilst I appreciate that might be viewed by many of you as a Gen X moaning, bear with me.
I get it. I can feel you judging me. That's palpable.
Oh sure, we like our cars to start when we ask them to and to keep running, and modern cars have pretty much nailed that, unless you have an electric car and it snows, or floods, or is a bit too cold. We all like cars that don't squeak or rattle, but unless they are a Rolls-Royce, Lexus or an S-Class, we don't want them to be so fully insulated from the outside world that they lack all sensation and involvement. What we actually all crave is driving feel, the physical sensation through the controls, the sound of the engine, the vibrations that remind you that you're in control of a moving vehicle. When combined with character and individuality, this is the essence of a car's soul. Modern cars hardly make any noise, they have no individuality, and they're all made from materials that cost the least whilst giving the illusion of costing the most. They don't smell of anything because everything they're made from is synthetic. Controls are super light, giving no sensation of weight or mass. And screens dominate outside perception. Touchscreens replace physical controls, warning lights and buzzers cosset and cajole, but offer nothing tangible. We reverse, maneuver and park without even looking out of the windows or mirrors anymore, so trusting of sensors, cameras and alarms. It's also artificial and controlled and appliance-like. I hate it. I want my cars to be cars, not washing machines. I want noise, vibration, a sensation of speed.
When I called you, I was doing 140 miles an hour.
I want my cars to have soul, that almost indefinable human quality that turns a machine with thousands of moving parts into a living thing, a character, an entity, a friend. Cars used to have soul. They used to be part of the family. They gave us fond memories, treasured moments, and we kept them for years. Now they're characterless, replaceable, disposable. They have no emotional resonance. And do you want to know how I know this? When was the last time you parked up a new car, walked up to your front door, paused, and turned back for another look. Exactly. So have I made my argument comprehensively? Have I persuaded you? Do you now understand? For all the reasons that I've outlined, new cars are now about as appealing to me as kissing a skunk. And this little beauty is most likely the last new car that I'll ever buy. Now, admittedly, that's not a bad finale, but I can't help but feel just a little bit sad. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section of YouTube and Instagram. Let's get a debate going. Thanks for watching this episode on why I most likely will never buy a new car again. I hope you found it entertaining and interesting. If you like what we're doing on The Car Guys, please subscribe, leave comments and likes, and there'll be another episode soon.